Hi everyone, I'm Austin with Laguna Tools. Welcome back to the workshop, and in today's tech tip video, we're going to walk you through the steps of running a job that requires multiple tools. For example, I have this 3D carving here in front of me. Now this is done with two separate tool paths and two different router bits. We have our first one here, which is going to be done with a 1/2-inch ball nose, and this is our roughing tool path. Then we switch to a 16 tapered ball nose for our finish. Now this is very common when you're working with a CNC router to have to change the bits in between jobs. For example, if we're going to do a raised letter sign, which is what we're going to be doing today, if you look at the one behind me, we could use one tool for the entire job, but that would take a lot of time. So typically what we're going to do is use a larger tool to remove the majority of our material and then go back with a smaller one to do all of our fine detail work. Now we're going to be doing a raised letter sign here in just a little bit, and it's going to require us to use 3 separate tools. Our first tool path is going to be done with a V-bit. In this case, we're going to be using a 16-degree carving liner tool. Then we're going to switch over to an 1/8-inch straight bit to remove the majority of our material, and then finally we'll finish off with a 16, and that'll give us our nice fine detail work on our letters. If you have a project where you have to run with multiple tools, then basically there's 3 things that you need to do. After your first file has completed, you're going to change your bit, reset your Z0, and then select and run your next file. Your XY0, your origin positions, which would either be set in one of the 4 corners or the center of your workpiece. In this case, we're going to be using the lower left-hand corner. Now that is going to remain the same every single time throughout this entire process. It's only your Z0 position that will change. All right, so let's get started. Now to get started, we'll first want to make sure we've locked our material down in place. And for this, you can use a number of different methods. We're using clamps. Next, we'll secure the bit that we're going to be using first into our spindle. Just be sure not to over tighten it here. And then we can set our XY0. Now again, we're going to be using the lower left-hand corner for this workpiece. So we'll jog to that location and then set that as our origin. We're then going to set our Z0 manually since we're using a delicate tool. After that, we'll verify that our spindle speed and our feed rate is set properly. Once our file is loaded, we can press the cycle start button to begin. Now the electro spindle on the KX24 is going to be a 1 horsepower air-cooled electro spindle. It's variable speed from 0 to 24,000, and in this case we're using 24,000 RPM. Now once that first file has completed, the spindle will raise up out of the workpiece and return back to its ready state. From here, we can select Load File and load the next file that we're going to be using. Press OK, and you'll get a preview of that file up in the preview screen. We can now change our tool and reset our Z0. Again, using the supplied wrenches, we'll swap that tool out. And we're going to swap over to a 16th straight bit here. We're going to do the detail on the letters first, and then go back and remove the majority of the material. Set our Z0 manually. I'm choosing to use a flashlight. You can use a piece of paper. We'll reset that Z0. And then always remember just to jog the Z up if you set it manually, and raise it back out of the material. Verify that our spindle speed is correct, and then press cycle start. And anytime you have a job that's going to require a tool change, you're just going to walk through those simple steps again. Once that's completed, it's the same process. Swap our tool, lock it down, set our Z0, and then load and run that next file. The process of using multiple tools is actually quite simple. And as you can see here, not only will it speed up your time, but it gives you the ability to get better detail out of your finished product. It really is that simple. And as you can see here, the results speak for themselves. And now with a little bit of creativity and some paint, our new raised letter sign is ready to warn guests to mind their head when going down these stairs. Thank you again for watching that video. If you would like to learn more about the KX24 CNC, be sure to visit us online at lagunatools.com. If you're looking for more content like this, check out our YouTube channel, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so that you never miss content when we post it. I'm Austin with Laguna Tools. Thank you again for choosing Laguna, and we will see you in the next video.